This is a Mac Mini. It's been destroying some software developer tests. And I'm at Micro Center today to see if they can build a custom PC that'll crush the Mac Mini. Not real. This is the real one. I'm not crazy. I'm not dropping a Mac Mini. All right, let's go inside. Dan.
Hey, welcome back,
Alex.
Good to see you again, man.
Here's what we're doing today.
Yeah.
I already got one number down here.
Okay.
And it's a pretty low number. That's our budget for the whole build.
Okay.
All right, so this is gonna be not easy. So this is a programming device.
Okay.
You can program on a potato.
Yes, you
In
could.
fact, I have a video out where I do a $70 Chromebook.
Oh, wow.
You can do it, but you know, as developers, we like to run things that are a little bit more than potato flavored stuff,
Yeah.
like IDEs and maybe some LLMs. I don't know if we'll get to LLMs at this price range.
No, definitely not.
So we're gonna do this on a spinny wheel today. 300 is the minimum budget, and let's go with 1600 for the high end. We don't need that much as software developers. Even that is a bit much. We gotta just fill in the numbers in between. 500 here, 800 is a good one. How about 801?
Oh, man. Making it real difficult now.
1200 is a good number, nice round number. Well, let's go with 1000. $1,000 is like the cutoff point for a lot of people. I think sub 1000 is a good budget to stick around for most people. 800 is a good number, 600, 700 is one we don't have yet. So I think we filled it all up. Who's gonna spin? Camera guy? You wanna spin? All right, here, let me hold the camera while you do that. This is Amin, everybody.
Give it anyway.
Just
give
spin it real hard anyway. There you go. Yes. What do we got?
600.
600. 600 is the budget. We're going with 600.
Okay.
Can you do it?
Yeah, we can do it. We have like budget deals, like for processor, motherboard, RAM, whatever, just to get you started. I'm thinking we could probably stick with like a Ryzen 5 or like a 12th Gen i7 and pull this off. Benefit there is we don't have to go super crazy with the cooler.
Yeah.
Might not be able to do a GPU, or at least not a fancy GPU, but I think
Sorry, LLM folks, but maybe we could still run LLMs just on the CPU.
probably, or you could just
what
do
about,
use
like-
your mini, like an external GPU as well.
External GPU.
Yeah.
Or what about like one of those small ones, like a 3050 or a 3060? Is that gonna be pushing
I
it?
think we could try to get away with a 3050.
600
Passive
bucks.
power, yeah.
Okay, let's try it. Let's
Yeah,
go.
why not?
So where do we start?
Where I'd like to start is processor choice. Intel is probably gonna make more sense here. As much as I know you guys have your reservations about Intel, we can get a higher core count as probably not a machine we're gonna be upgrading. And I mean, out of the box, they're do pretty well. They're both gonna have 16 gigs if we go with one of the bundle.
So Micro Center has these bundles where if you buy each individual component, you pay a certain price, and that's if you really want to custom mix and match your own things. But they also have these pre-built bundles where they save you some money. So are we gonna go with a bundle then?
Let me find out. Let me find
All
out.
right. He's working hard to get this deal going. I got another wrench to throw in here. If you come in under 600, then you have to do push-ups.
How many?
Depends on how many dollars you come in under. If you come in under, you have to do one push-up per dollar.
I'll try not to go like 100 under then.
If you come in over though, then I have to do push-ups.
Oh, I might just do it on purpose now, you know? Sounds like a fun time.
But there's a limit. I can only do a certain amount. I'm not in the best of shapes.
The AM5 bundle, the one with the Ryzen 5, is about 20 bucks less than this. But this is an i7 that's going to give us about, if I'm not mistaken, like 12 cores, 10 or 12 cores. I can't keep up with Intel and their random like hybrid architecture. That versus the 6 cores on the Ryzen 5 bundle. You know, in the end, this is just going to be a nice little product, like way to get started with productivity.
Is there any way we can get that to 32 gigs?
Yeah, we can just add a second.
How much is that gonna bump us up, and are we still gonna be able to stay within the budget? I just think 32, you know, 32 is a really good number to be at for software developers these days, but 16 is very doable.
Case-wise, I'm gonna go with probably a brand that we don't really see many people asking for. Maybe you haven't even heard of them, Gamdias. I might be even butchering their pronunciation, but they have like regular ATX cases at like really, really cheap prices.
Okay.
That'll give you like 3-4 fans, you know.
Oh, it comes with a case?
Exactly.
Oh.
So we won't, our whole thing there is the less we have to buy after the fact, the more we can keep it within the budget.
Yes.
I'm trying to save myself push-ups, I'm trying to save him push-ups. Every Micro Center will have something like this, you know. If you're trying to go for a budget, Gamdias, they're usually a pretty good pick. Can't really speak for their quality, but it's not terrible. But you know, it'll get us there. We're not really like putting a 5090 in this thing, or at least I hope you're not.
Why not?
I mean, Yeah, but more fun machine for that.
But I could put a 5090 in there.
If you
It's got
got like,
enough space. It's a big one, right?
if you got like a Founders Edition one, maybe. I don't know if we'd be able to get away with.
Okay. Well, I like small cases, so this is perfect.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do at least a bronze power supply, a 650 watt power spec. That's our house brand. If it fails, you can yell at us and we'll give you another one.
So wait, that's a 650 watt. Is that going to be enough to do the whole thing? To power everything?
Oh, 100%. We might try to put a GPU in this thing, but
We're at $488 right now.
yeah, that's with taxes so far.
That's pretty good.
Now, I don't want to do 139 push-ups, so we're still missing a couple of things. We're missing a cooler, we're missing storage.
So as far as storage goes,
Yeah.
let's do a couple of options and maybe we'll flip for it
Sure.
just to get a little bit of a chance thing going on here.
Like maybe like between different brand options, or we're talking storage, like capacity options.
Pick two different ones and then
Sure.
we're gonna flip a coin to see which one is gonna be.
I'm probably gonna keep you at a terabyte, just for sanity's sake.
Terabyte is a good amount.
And we'll choose between Western Digital and SK Hynix just to kind of give us, actually, no. SK Hynix and Samsung. I think that's gonna be the most natural.
What about that 9100 Samsung?
I thought you don't want to do any push-ups.
I don't want to do push-ups, but I like the sound of that new drive.
It's
I
a
don't know.
beautiful drive, but 1 terabyte of that is gonna put us $50 over, and that's without a cooler. Now, if you're cozy doing 90 push-ups, which I'm sure the camera will love, that's fine, but
Is it worth getting a 9100 Pro in there? Like, how much am I gonna gain from putting that in?
like photo editing, video editing, and maybe a lot of encryption, I would say, yeah, it can justify its price. I can't see that justifying itself for you here. I would stick to a decent Gen 4, like a 1 terabyte 990 Pro or an SK Hynix, and just call it a wrap there.
I did actually a test in a video recently, not recently, maybe last year, on how SSD speeds affects your compilation times. I'll put that video link down below. It does play a little bit of a role, but not this much. I think we're gonna skip the really expensive, brand new technology drive, even though I really want it. By the way, Micro Center is building this machine for me. They don't know it yet, but I'm not quite ready to get my hands dirty yet. If you want me to build the next one, next visit, let me know in the comments down below.
So we've got Samsung on the right with the 990 Pro. It's a very, very fast and reliable Gen 4.
And most importantly, saves us 20 bucks.
It does save us 20 bucks. I might end up having to do push-ups if we go that route. But if we go with the Samsung, you guys are gonna be doing me a really big favor.
Let's go with the Hynix, because I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried about having to do push-ups.
All right.
So I got a coin here.
Yeah.
We're gonna flip it actually. I'm rooting for that Hynix.
I'm rooting on Samsung and I'm gonna call heads.
You're gonna call heads on Samsung?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Get
call
ready?
heads on Samsung.
Okay, you got your heads. Samsung wins.
So the last thing we need is a cooler.
No.
We can add it.
594 bucks? Okay, we're skipping the cooler. No way, we don't need that.
Well,
And then everybody wins. You get to do only 5 push-ups.
listen, we add a cooler. I'll do the push-ups for fun. How about that?
You will do the push-ups even if we go over?
Well, you'll do the push-ups as we go over, but I'll do them with you. How about that?
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's add the cooler.
All right, probably something from Thermalright because I can get Amazon's price matching on that just to keep us a little bit closer to the budget.
Nice.
'Cause I don't want to do a ton of push-ups, to be honest with you.
Is that something we want to advertise?
We're actually very open about the fact that we price match, and we want people to know that because we'd much rather you guys came over here than to like Best Buy, Amazon, etc. So we're
That's pretty good.
proud of being able to price match.
Price matching Amazon, that's tough in today's economy.
Even Amazon won't price match itself. You buy something and then it becomes even a little bit cheaper the next day, they'll tell you to return it and buy all over again. The big trick to that is you always want to make sure it's sold by the manufacturer themselves, usually, you know, shipped by Amazon too.
Don't teach people how to shop at Amazon. They're supposed to be shopping in Micro Center.
Well, that's why I'm teaching him how to do this. There we go. Sold by Thermalright, shipped by Amazon.
35 bucks, that's pretty good.
Exactly. Cool, this computer doesn't have a printer sync to it, but that doesn't matter. I don't need that. And then our final price here before any sort of price matching.
You want me to do 70 push-ups?
Well, we're price matching, so 50.
Okay. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
50.
I'll try. I don't know how long it's gonna take me. Probably a few tries.
Yeah, a few hours later.
So is this it? Are
No,
these
I
all our
messed-
parts?
I messed up and I did 2 of that cooler. I was cheating to try to get a little bit more out of
Oh man.
it. Yeah, no, we're actually well within range.
Come on, 15. I can do that easily.
Exactly. There we go.
You're messing
Alex
with
is
me,
only
man.
gonna do 15 push-ups.
This guy. Here we go. 15 push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yes.
Strong
That
body
was
makes
worth
for
it.
good
That was
color.
worth it to go over the budget.
Added some flair to it for you guys too. He was excited.
Nice. We're good with the budget for the build.
Yeah.
Now we need a monitor.
That won't affect anything here, thankfully.
I already did my push-ups, so
Yeah.
we can go above the
Yeah.
budget now.
I mean, I think now we're in pretty good territory. We don't need to go something crazy, right? To go a simple 27 inch. Or do you prefer something longer?
Well, I'm thinking, what if this person that ends up with this computer is gonna want to game one day? Wouldn't they want a higher refresh monitor?
Yeah, actually. And we could probably look at MSI monitors because MSI usually does a pretty good job with their screens.
Yeah.
And we can get like a decent IPS 1080p for the cost of what a really cheapo monitor should be.
So I'm thinking, the last video Dan and I did, my last visit here, I'll link to that down below. We picked a monitor. One of the most important things that I think for a programmer to keep their eyes healthy is a high resolution display. So I think 1080 is gonna be a little bit on the low side.
We can shoot for 4K or 1440p or 4K as well.
Let's go with 4K.
Okay.
We saved a lot of money on the build,
Yeah.
and now the monitor is kind of an extra thing. It's a peripheral. At this point, you can go whatever you want if you're picking something out for yourself. But I think it's very important to have 4K. That 4K is really good on your eyes. And I've been using 4K monitors for a long time. It really helps out when you're staring at your screen all day looking at code.
I think I've got our monitor picked out. It's gonna be our Acer Nitro XV273K. It's 4K, 160 hertz. It's gonna be higher refresh rate if they wanna start gaming, and it's IPS, so it'll look pretty good up close too.
Nice, let's do it.
Awesome.
And I've got my own mouse and keyboard, so we're good to go on that front.
We came out to, with taxes, 1002, without taxes, 945.
Look at that, $1,000 bucks.
$1,000 with a
With the
monitor.
monitor.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's definitely doable. There's no graphics card in there, but you know, there's plenty of room to add that. I'm not too concerned about that.
Wait, there's no graphics card? Should I do more push-ups?
Do you guys want him to do 200 more push-ups?
I don't think I can pull off 200 push-ups.
Cameraman, you want to do 200 push-ups?
What if we all do a few push-ups
All right.
and that adds up to our video card?
Yeah.
What kind of video card can we get in there?
Let's do a 3050.
A 3050.
3050, 6 gigabyte. It's gonna use power right off the bus. It's not crazy in its price. 6 gigs of RAM, so if you want to do like something super light. And now we've got a PC with a video card. We are
Oh,
1200.
we're still at $1,200. That's
Yeah.
pretty good. Now, what can this video card do, I wonder?
4K output. I mean, I guess you could try to play like some kind of Paradox Interactive game off of it.
How much memory does this thing have? 6 gigabytes. So you won't be running huge LLMs off of this, but you could run small LLMs, and it's gonna do a decent job doing that. In fact, we're gonna test that out later on.
Let's go with it.
Let's go with it. Push-ups? You're gonna do 15?
I'll give you 15.
Dad's gonna do 15 push-ups, guys. Come on. Oh, he goes downstairs in the gym. That's nice. That's very convenient.
Yeah, it's pretty nice down there.
2, 3.
Wait, this is 8. This man is trying to cheat me out of my push-ups.
Oh, man. That's pretty good. He's got these push-ups down. Nice.
Real convenient
nice.
being down there. A lot of tripods though. But we made it work.
Your turn. You gotta do some.
Yeah. We weren't joking.
It's your fault that we add this budget anyway. Okay, we believe you. It's very heavy.
That's why he only needs to do 1 and not 15.
Oh, diamond push-ups. This is turning into a health channel or something.
He was holding out on us.
All right, man. All right. That's good. That's good. You don't have to do more. I need you to hold this heavy gimbal because my arm is dying now. And I'll be back sometime later to pick it up.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds good. All right, cool. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Good doing business with you again and
Always.
getting a workout. It's been a couple hours and I just got a call, well, a text message saying that my computer is done. I'm heading over there now to pick it up. So before coming here, I did use the configurator from Micro Center's website. It's the custom PC builder. It's a pretty neat little tool. Good enough so I kind of have some ideas of what I want, but of course things might not go as planned. They never do. Hey, what's up, Will?
What's up, man? Thank you so much for coming through with us.
Curious if you guys are gonna get the RTX 6000.
RTX 6000.
You know about that? The new one?
Possibly, yeah. Eventually.
You're not sure about that yet, right?
Not yet, because with NVIDIA, they take their time with her. So I think in 2 years.
I know.
I don't know.
I'll check back then.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Before that. Gonna take this thing back to the office to check it out. By the way, Micro Center has a new store in Santa Clara opening up very soon. Keep an eye out for that. And sign up to get a free gift at the door. There's that gym. I might want to sign up and start going there. All right. First time seeing this thing. It looks pretty good. This looks like a glass door that just opens up like that. I've never seen that. That is so convenient. I can just swap cards in and out if I want to. Not that a 4090 will actually fit in there. I do love how cleanly they do this. So the interesting thing that was completely not planned is that this thing's 600 bucks and this thing is 600 bucks. Of course, I won't be able to test all the software developer tasks here, but I'll pick a couple of the important ones.
Yesterday, the world came to a standstill after the greatest political minds in the world, also known as...
I want to kick things off by starting these machines up from nothing to see how quickly each one starts up. We're not going to do this very often, but just out of curiosity. Boom. Ah yes, that famous Mac Mini chime. All right, Mac Mini is up, ready to log in. We're waiting for this one. I think that's coming. Oh, there it is. All right. And we're at the desktop because there's no login there. Technically, I guess the Mac Mini is slower because I have to log in. All right, let's continue. I'm gonna pop open terminal in both of these, see how fast that comes up. That is something we do pretty often as devs. And boom. Saw the difference there. Quite a stark difference. For those of you that are just gonna say now that I'm just a fanboy. Well, I'm a fan of things that work quickly, yes. So far I've played around with the new build and it is pretty fast for the most part. Not the fastest PC I've ever worked with. By the way, if you're interested in setting up a dev environment on a PC, I'll link to a couple of videos down below. Let's get into one of our code bases here. I wanna pop open VS Code to see how long that takes. And 1, 2, 3, go. Hey, the PC clearly won that one, maybe. I don't know what the Mac was doing. It was checking for updates or something. It's been a while since I popped this open. I'm gonna do it again, of course. Not because I wanted to win, but just because it didn't seem like, since it's not a fresh install, maybe it's checking for updates or something. Let's do it again. Boom. Okay, very good. They're both about the same. In fact, maybe even the PC is faster at popping open VS Code. I don't know, you tell me, did you see a difference? This is a brand new install, and I haven't set up my sync settings yet on the Windows machine. Part of that whole installation process for Windows machines that I talk about that I forgot to do this time around. And the reason that would affect this so much, in fact, this is a really interesting little side tangent here because you'll see how much slower VS Code is when you have multiple extensions plugged in there. I like to keep VS Code as light as possible. Only the necessary bare minimum extensions that you need should be installed on there. So I guess it's only fair that I do this again, but this time I synchronize the versions. Let's try this one more time. Come on, Alex. It's failing miserably today. What's going on? Not push-ups after all. All right, one more time. Everything should be in sync now. I got all the plugins and extensions and the same versions. Boom. Okay. It's about the same. Looking good on both machines for that. Navigating between files here, navigating between files. I think actually it's the implementation of Electron, right? It seems like it's a little bit more speedy on a Windows machine. That's just the perception I'm getting here. Yeah, it's really fast on both of these, but a little bit more noticeably fast on the Windows machine. Nothing that's gonna kill your productivity, I don't think. Let's pick one of these tests and execute one of them. I don't mean that. You're safe, tests. You're safe. You're gonna be okay. What do I do on a Windows machine? I usually do .NET development, and I usually do it in Visual Studio. However, since Visual Studio is no longer available on a Mac, I'm gonna use the .NET CLI to do a build. This is a very large .NET project here that generates 100,000 namespaces and classes. And the code in here is such that the compiler can't just squirrel it away. It has to actually compile every single line. And let's go. Okay, now it's generating the code, and that's a lot of files that's being generated. Looks like the Mac is a little bit ahead now. It's on the next step. It's already done generating files, and it's moved on. It's about to start building the project on the Mac. PC is still generating. It is Windows after all. some kind of issue with when it comes to large amount of small files, I've noticed. Have you ever tried deleting a directory with a lot of small files in Windows? Do you really need to prepare and then discover these items? Just put the thing in the trash can, come on. Yeah. Hey, it's building, finally. Now granted, you will probably not have such a gigantic project that you're working on. There are large projects out there, but this is extreme. Your experience will vary somewhere between about the same if it's a small project to a big difference like we're about to see. And the Mac is done. Build succeeded in 92 seconds. PC is done. In its native Windows homeland, this .NET project took 95 seconds to build. That's not bad. So the longest part of that was the generation process, which is running a Python program. So we got to a little 2-for-1 right now. We got to see how long it takes a Python program to generate all these files. A while on the Windows machine, much faster on the Mac. But the build process, the .NET compilation itself, is about the same. That got me curious to see how a Python test would do here. And I happen to have one handy. On the Mac, I'm gonna use the time command to time this. This code is available on Benchmark Games. I'll link to that down below if you wanna check it out and run it yourself. On Windows, we cannot use the time command, but PowerShell provides this thing called measure command. So I'm gonna use that instead. And let's go. In case you're curious what this is the Mandelbrot algorithm. Mandelbrot was a mathematician that invented the fractals patterns. You might have seen those around. And this algorithm simulates that in ASCII format. We're not printing out the ASCII, just swallowing it up, sending it to dev null, just to see how long it takes to generate. And wow, this is pretty good. For the Windows machine, the Mac does this in 30 seconds, and the Windows machine does this in 29.4 seconds. Beating out the Mac. Pretty impressive, huh? By the way, this is an algorithm that actually uses up all the CPU cores that are available. And this 12th gen i7 processor that's in our new machine seems to have 10 cores, or 20 threads in this case, in this visualization here in Task Manager. The Mac Mini M4 chip has 6 efficiency cores and 4 performance cores, so a total of 10 cores. 10 and 10. Let's check out the AI stuff, huh? The machine learning stuff. We're gonna run Llama 3.2, a pretty small model because we only have 6 gigs of VRAM available in the Windows machine. The M4 Mac Mini has 16 gigabytes of memory, that's unified memory, so it's shared between the CPU and the GPU. But the GPU can use up to 75% of that available memory, so considerably more than the 6 gigabytes of VRAM available here. Llama run Llama 3.2 verbose. And yeah, it's not the newest, latest and greatest model, but that's not the point of this test. If you want to see the latest and greatest models, watch some of my other videos on more powerful hardware. This is just so that we can get a small model to get a relative performance between these machines. Write a JavaScript function to find prime numbers. And let's go. Okay, the Windows machine started doing this way faster, and it's done. Wow, look at that. 43 tokens per second on the Mac and 61 tokens per second on the Windows machine using that RTX 5090. Just kidding, 3050. Now just to make sure that this is in fact using the RTX, let's have it do a long task and take a look at that NVIDIA GPU. And you'll see that this is using 3.3 out of the 6 gigabytes in dedicated GPU memory. For some reason, it's using the Intel GPU instead of the RTX 3050. And it's still beating the Mac Mini? All right, let's use another tool called LM Studio, because over there we can control the engine a little bit easier, I'd say. So here you can take a look at runtimes and you'll see that CUDA is installed by default here. CUDA is not available on the Mac, obviously, but MLX is available on the Mac, and we're going to take a look at that. MLX is Apple's version of what CUDA does for the PC world. Let's grab Llama 3.21 billion. Make sure it's the same exact thing here. They're both the GGUF version, so we're comparing the same things. The 8-bit quant, and we got all of it going to GPU offload. Let's load that model up. And the model loading, it looks like it's a little bit faster on the PC. Write a 1,000 word story, boom. I mean, they're both really, really fast because it's such a small model. 91 tokens per second here on the PC, and on the Mac, 59 tokens per second. Wow. it's got to be using the RTX board. I don't understand this readout here. It says dedicated GPU. Clearly it's being used here. However, there is no activity going on here. The activity is all happening over here on the integrated. And by default, GGUF is supposed to run on CUDA. In fact, that would explain why it's running so quickly, but still it's not reflecting in Task Manager, which kind of bothers me a little bit. Just to wrap this up, we've got the same price machine here. One is really big, one is really small. One is eating up a lot more power than the other one. And when they're actually running some LLM stuff, we've got 172 over here versus 24. Still quite a big difference. Performance-wise, they come pretty close. But of course, this one does generate a lot more heat and noise. It is expandable and upgradable, so later on I can pop in a 4090 in there. Might not fit, but you know, smaller form factor one would fit. I could add more RAM, I could change the CPU, the motherboard, all that stuff, the power supply. Everything is moddable and upgradable. Here, you get what you get. There's benefits to that too, which is I can resell this easily and get almost all my money back right now. In a year or two, I'll be able to maybe get 50% to 30% of the price of that Mac Mini. I doubt I'll be able to get that much with a PC. Also, the portability is there for the Mac Mini. You can easily grab this and take it with you anywhere you go. But coming into this, expecting the Mac Mini to destroy this machine, considering the price, I'm pretty impressed with the PC. For 600 bucks, you can get a really decent machine. All right, that's it for today. Thanks Micro Center for sponsoring this video, for having us do another build. I will be back to Micro Center again. And if you have any questions or specific ideas, put them down below in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you all next time.